Hey everybody, this is Greg. We are live streaming tonight. I will be passing off hosting duties to, I believe, Andrew Eck, but just wanted to check in. We've got a bout draw. You'll be hearing from Omaha Central, Waverly High School, Ralston High School, and St. Luke's Team Center in this bout. Should be a great one. But I'm coaching Central, so I'm going to go ahead and hop off the stream and focus with my team. So, yeah, enjoy the show, and we will talk to you afterward. All right, well, the What? How are you? Yeah. Well, I'm afraid of you guys. It's scary. Feel good? Okay, good. I have a poem about it. Hey folks, we're just still getting judges and people together, so we'll be getting underway shortly. If anyone's in there.
Hello.
Yay!
And she is. Coach. I really don't need this mic because I talk loud. But we're ready for a louder than a bomb party. One more time. We are ready for a louder than a bomb party! Nobody else don't have a good time? I'm gonna have a good time. poetry. We're going to make this the most hype event of the season. And then we're going to build on that. Does that sound like an idea? All right. We've got some great teams here, but we have to do introductions, okay? So we're going to do some introductions, all right? Is everybody ready for an introduction? So they're already on my side. I'm a PK. What is a PK? Anybody? Right. So I do like call and response. So if I said, amen, say, let's do this. They already in the house. Oh, sorry.
Thank you. All right, so who here has never been to a poetry slam before? Wow, how lucky are we to have so many new people. For those of you who have never been to a poetry slam before, which I believe might be one or two, poetry slam is a ridiculous invention that was created in the 1980s by a Chicago construction worker named Mark Smith. So what? They got it. Who decided that regular poetry readings were boring and decided to give the power back to the people. So poetry slam took off across the world because everybody loves to judge poetry. And then a while later in history, a very small amount of time considered now as dinosaurs. Louder than bombs. You don't have to laugh. It's just that it's a requirement for louder than a bomb to have a tattoo of a dinosaur. So once you're of age, you better join the tribe. Some weirdos in Chicago named Kevin Coble and Anna West. Kevin Coble and Anna West created the youth poetry slam louder than a bomb. And then some crazy Omaha people named Matt Mason and Andrew decided to. Decided to bring this wild party to Omaha. So in this competition, poets have 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to do anything they want in the name of poetry, except for using props, costumes, musical accompaniment, or any other people who are not their team members. Judges are people in the audience who I coerced into giving each of these poems a score between 0.0 and 10.0. Give them a round of applause! And judges who are the experts on all written and spoken and oral traditions in the universe will give each poem a score between 0.0 and 10.0. 0 being something that never should have been written and should stay under the rock where its little seed of an idea was born. And a 10 is the best poem that you wish you had a copy of to plaster all over your neighborhood so that everyone could read it. And if you ever met somebody who hadn't heard it, you would tell them to get their life right. So that's what judges are going to do. They are going to be really consistent and awesome and have a lot of fun, and we will continue to cheer for them even when they make bad life choices, which will probably be happening very soon. Audience members, your job is to love poetry. Can you do that for me? And if you hear a poem that you want to print out and give to everyone in your family, even your grandma, because you think it'll change the world, what are you going to do? And if you hear a score that you think wasn't the best score that poem could have got, what are you going to do? You're going to gently encourage the judges to think differently about their life choices in the future, but love them for trying their best. That's really important. They're just trying. Poems by these amazing young people should also be T-dubs, not include any kind of racist, homophobic, ableist, gender biased, ridiculous-ism like that. That is not a thing here. All right, I think that's everything. Maybe we're ready to start the poetry slam. Yeah, D. Kevin is right. Joanna over there.
Hey!
She is our new best friend who's really good at playing 90s R&B and Beyonce. And anything else that she wants to.
But mostly 90s R&B and Beyonce.
I think
How do people? I also heard inklings of something else that needs to happen.
Blood.
Do you know about sacrifice?
sacrifice. Yes. Sacrifice. Sacrifice. A sacrifice is a poet who is not competing in the actual competition, but will give the judges an opportunity to practice judging. Let's hear it for the sacrifice. That person is Teresa. Say the middle. Arts from Scott. Let's hear it, y'all.
Very tiny.
Well, after that started, promised my poem will not suck as much. I'm Therese Lawrence. I'm a sophomore at SPET, and my poem is called Barely Angel. The barely teenager was worthily immortalized, expected to live past her parents, and at least forever. Instead, she chose the quarter life, and now lives in my quarter memories. With my feet pointing skyward, in a handstand made possible by a younger center of gravity, propped up against our tea-light terrace, she asked me, "Don't you wish you could stay here forever?" But for all of the stars, I could not nod yet. When single digits turned to double, we returned to our flimsy playground to find that not one, but two elements had changed. She and I. Don't you wish you could leave here forever? But for fear of the dark, I could not share my reasons to stay. She couldn't allow her chapped lips to rest against each other, or risk hitting a brick silence, and even her smile looked strained, ready to snap off with the rest of her. Teeth bombarding a pile of spindly limbs, each tooth still finding to carve one last groove in her anchored tongue. To rent comfort when the scale screamed numbers through her feet and into her heart. We pleaded with her. Show emotion. Like a summer child who directs the host of the beehive to prove the colony dwelled there, accepting the high risk of getting stung. Riveted by our own stinging whims, we allowed the barely teenager to slither past each palm family with the desperate cracks in her mirror. She now rests with the circus of bottles, finding one to bring her home. I wasn't in that white coat French room, but I bit my nails and wait outside, while freshly sterilized knives and pins with leftover good intention under the sputtering coals of her asphyxiated adolescent personality. How old does she have to be before a chalky click of pills can choke the space behind her tongue? On a day when tears were wet from the sky, only a few shuffling people shook the descent from their shoulders onto the barely teenager in a box that had been labeled child size, a store where no one smiled. The relatives' opinions were sufficiently shown of how she had wronged them by leaving so soon. I tried to imagine her soul soaring to whatever heaven she chose, because children are good at getting what they want. But tears so fortune passed down my cheek and swirled into a tear duct when I bent to kiss her hand. Baby sister, you look beautiful. Because in the end, my barely teenager had become a barely angel. And beautiful is all she'll ever be.
This is Teresa Arts. She is the clearing poet tonight. First up, you are going to hear from Omaha Central, then Ralston High School, then Waverly High School, and then
You've
St.
got
Luke's Teen Center.
3,
And the audio wasn't on for that, and I'm very sorry.
1.
So you'll hear from those schools in that order, and
please leave them up until
we
I've read
will
all of
have
them.
audio for the rest of
And
us.
now
Sorry about
from
that.
low to high, we have an 8.7, an 8.7, an 8.7, a 9, and a 9.1 for Teresa!
Couple quick housekeeping things, real quickly, right? And we didn't mention this beforehand, but it's very important. Just like in theater, if we can hear you, you can hear us. We like the response and the call and response, but turn off your cell phones. Don't just put them on vibrate or on off, because you want to give credence to those people who are pouring out their heart out here, okay? Yes. Sound good? Excellent.
Are you ready to start the poetry slam?
One real quick. Can I do this real quick?
Yeah, do it.
Okay. I'm going to say louder than you say a bomb, right? Can you do that?
Yeah.
Louder than
A bomb!
louder than
A bomb!
louder than
A bomb!
one more, louder than
A bomb!
say louder than
A bomb! Woo!
that makes my day, y'all.
And get it going and keep it going for your first poet from Central.
Keep it going, man. Keep it going, man. Keep it going, man. Keep it high. Keep it high. Keep it high. Keep. They hear you high. Keep it high till they talk.
I'm Nathan.
And I'm Kelsey, and we're from Omaha Central. Tears and teeth fall to stone. It catches blood, bullets, and bombs with open arms, welcoming death like an old friend. Barren feet churn dust clouds as people run blindly. God, too, has turned blind. He does not see their innocence or fear. He mimics the children who stare wide-eyed but will never know another sunrise. This is when normal men lose hope.
These are not normal men. When God does not answer prayers, they do not run away. They breathe, count to 3, run towards slaughter and away from sanity.
Soldiers. His name was Daniel Tyler Lee. He stood 6'5", loved to laugh, an eternal optimist, a husband,
Father,
brother,
son.
sergeant.
His first tour in Iraq was fought with reckless rounds, flinging from his fingertips like he had nothing to lose. He loved excitement in the Kentucky soil he was raised in.
His first time overseas was one with his brain. Get in,
Get done.
get out.
His second tour was fought with his heart, filled with love for a new wife, a son more beautiful than he could have imagined, filled with fear for what Afghanistan could give him.
Car bombs and carnage keeping him from home.
His heart was his pride. It stood for his family, friends, and country. It gave him a strange sympathy in an even stranger place.
On January 14th, 2014, a Taliban group issued a surprise attack on Daniel's troop. With enemy eyes holding a fear of their own, death looked him in the eye and shot him in the chest.
Filling his last breath with terror, taking his last heartbeat, he was 28 years old.
I wonder if Daniel's last thought is that he'll never get to play catch with his son, or maybe it was the tears of his wife when she was coming home, when she was told her husband was coming home with only half a heart.
Maybe it was that his mother would never straighten his tie, or his father could never tell him how proud of him he was, that his sister would never laugh at his jokes, his friends were dying with him.
I wonder if Daniel took a breath and counted to 3.
Daniel Tyler Lee was one story among thousands like him.
His name is put on a list of the lost. People pray for him, for his family, for God to see, to stop tragedy.
Soldiers are not statistics, they are human beings. When you analyze numbers or match a name to a picture,
Note the light in their eyes. Wonder when the last time they kissed a loved one was. Question whether or not they knew it was going to be the last time.
Every tally mark is a talent, a smile, a dance that will never be seen again. Pause to think about what is lost at the pull of a trigger.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear it for them. Come on, come on, come on. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Hey! I don't want to be the loudest one. I don't want to be louder than the bomb. Y'all have to be louder than the bomb. But, judges, you got your scores ready? In 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, we have from low to high. 8.6. 8.7. 9.1 and 9.4. Oh, I missed one. 8.9 and 9.4. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Next, coming to the stage is from Ralston. Let's give it up. Let's keep hearing it so she gets up here and does her thing.
My name is Maribel Navarrete, and I'm a senior. When I was 9, my friend asked me what part of Mexico I was from. I blinked with bewilderment because I did not know how to answer her. Later that day, I went to my mother. I said, "Mommy, what part of Mexico are we from?" The look on her face sent me searching for a way to fix my question, but it wasn't until she answered that I realized it wasn't the way I had asked. Santiago, Chile, and Buenos Aires, Argentina. Wait, so I'm not Mexican? After that, my mother would fill my head with the stories of my elders, my great-grandmother's search for answers, my uncle's untimely death, the disrespect my family was shown, but because I was so young, I didn't understand what that meant. When I was 15, I asked again, "Mommy, can you tell me the story about Abu?" This time, I hear words like murder, kidnapping, and exile, and I didn't know what to think. But because I am my mother's daughter, and curiosity runs through my veins, this time I ask questions. This time, hearing words like torture, taken, and broken, I felt an anger that fueled my already fatal pride because I am South American. To you, that may not mean much, but to us, it means everything. You see, I've got two sides. Chilenos are naturally snippy creatures that will tear your heart out with our words and not give a second thought about it. A true Chileno will tell you exactly what is on our mind, even if you did not ask, but an Argentino will soothe you. Smooth out the icing until it is the right kind of silver. We are storytellers, silver tongues, soothsayers. We know our histories because we lived it. They lived it. 17 years old, I asked again. By this time, the story was my favorite because it is one I knew so well. But this time, my mother said this: friend, secrets, and cyanide. My family was politically exiled from our country after they fought for what they believed in. My uncle and his wife were tortured when they couldn't get out of the house fast enough to get away when a friend of theirs sold them out to the military, and their infant daughter was given to a military family after she was born. No one in our family saw her for 26 years. My great-grandmother to this day helps to fight for the many men, women, and children who know the stories that contain kidnapping, murder, exile, and cyanide. I bet you didn't know about the pistol on his side or even about the cyanide. Cyanide, for what would he have needed cyanide? How many tears would he have cried for the pride that he'd never let die? So to you who ask me what part of Mexico I am from, I will tell you this: Mexico is not the only place with Latino people. I am South American.
Thank you, Ralston. Judges, 3, 2, 1. All right, from low to high, we had a 9, a 9.4, a 9.5, a 9.7, and a 9.8 for Ralston.
Keep it going for Waverly! Group peace!
My name's Victoria Grossman.
I'm Madison Steckelberg.
I'm Michaela Harrison. We're from Waverly High School, and this is our poem. The Fallen.
I can't wait to see you on the outside, my Asian beauty.
You said, like we were locked in some jail cell, two teenage girls coincidentally feeling down or a little tired, end up in the hospital together. Fate. Nothing more, nothing less. We were both depressed, but we made each other happy.
Even if it was just for a second.
I loved our daily texts. I already miss our daily texts because when I didn't get one for just one day, it was okay. I wasn't even worried. I blinked, and when I opened my eyes, I see you on the news instead of in my arms. I see it through a screen instead of in front of me. I see in photographs of genuine happiness instead of this practiced persona of life. And I see you with long hair instead of short. Maybe that's why it took so long for it to hit me. I wonder now if your body felt the way your hair did when you cut it that night with safety scissors, because that was the last thing in life you would control. I want to know if you felt free, if you could control anything for that second long drop that felt like a million years, or for just a moment did you regret it and know it was too late. Know that you would never see your family again. Did you imagine that the woman who found your body will dream about that moment for the rest of her life? I knew you were sad, but you were getting better. You told me that you used to look at the buildings downtown and count the floors to see if when you jumped, that building would let you leave this earth. Because downtown was building after building after building. But you were so much better. You said so. You looked at me and said that downtown was nothing but personality now. It wasn't the buildings, but the material, the people, the look, the attitude. You said
That Lincoln had soul instead of death written across it.
together we realized that there is more to life than living after an attempt. More to life, like a triple stuffed burrito with way too much salt on it from Chipotle, because what the hell is better than that? I hope they treat you well up there, gorgeous. I wish for you to know how beautiful you are, that you still have moonlight to watch the moonflowers bloom in the eye of the darkness, because beautiful things can still happen in the darkest of times. I hope you have your guitar, your ukulele, that you can sing to the angels to give us all hope, that you can sing to me, Trinity McDonald, sing to me. I pray you aren't and weren't in pain after you dared one more step forward. I dream you are free, you are happy, and you are actually living now. No one should go through so much pain to the point where the only way out is to jump, swallow, swing, cut, or pull. I miss you. I love you, white girl. I will always remember you. I wish I could tell you to step away from the edge, tell Trevor Underwood to put the bottle down, tell Taylor Artman to put that damn seatbelt on, tell Billy Tucker to forget the drugs. I wish I could tell us all to look up at the stars at night, to just say thank you, and to let our kindness spread out around us like wildfire.
Hey! All right, this is great poetry up in this house, don't you think? Yeah, come on, let's hear it. We really, really, really appreciate it. And some more people you should appreciate. The room here is sponsored by UNO College of Communications, Fine Arts, and Music. Plus, they got us cookies. Everybody, let's hear it. Hey, UNO! Let's make sure that they know that you appreciate them, all right? And water is available at the t-shirt table for $1. Only one minor dollar. Okay, judges, you had enough time. You ready? 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 3, 2, 1. And from low to high, we have 8.8. We have 9.3. I'm sorry, I missed a 9.0. That's okay. I'm dyslexic too, so don't worry about it. 9.5 and a 9.7. Oh, stop. Okay, so you've seen that one before, right? Okay, next coming to the stage. We're gonna keep this party hype, all right? Come on! Don't make me take my glasses off and get daddy on y'all. Next to the stage, let's hear it as they get there and all the way here. St. Louis, let's hear it, y'all. Come on.
You don't even know what happened. You got to pay the penny just for sure.
I am Angelica Dunn. I am a senior, and my poem is called My Addiction. You were right. There is no reason for you to love me, but there is also no reason for me to love you. You were always pushing me away. I was the one who was too stubborn to let go. I was always high off the leftover drugs you sent through me in kisses. Oh yes, I was addicted. There was always something wrong with going on with your family. I didn't even tell you about my family issues. You were always so ready for me to take things at a faster pace than I could be sure of whether I was ready for it. Lots of broken down cracks in our lives no longer mattered. Why should I care about school when there was you to hold on to? I was as messed up as you are trying to get high. All an illusion. And as you say I broke up with you, know this. I didn't break up with you. I broke up with a bad habit. There never was a true bond of love until we separated. It's a good thing, too. Since we were both heading into a spiraling tunnel to Doomsville, you do have a soul, whether you believe it or not. I can say now that I truly love you and not the addiction to you. I know why you don't love me. I was just a card. You were the dealer. Though part of me is glad we split, the other part wishes to know how things would have been. How we just stayed together for a little bit longer. Maybe in another dimension we did, and we were okay. Maybe, just maybe. But for now, I'm only happy to know you're still alive.
St. Luke's, everybody! Judges! 3, 2, now is the time to judge people's guts. From low to high, we have an 8.3, an 8.5, 8.6, 8.6, and a 9.4. Keep it going for the first poet of the second round, Ralston!
All right. Hey, how y'all doing? My name's Evelyn. I'm a senior from Ralston. All right. I wish I could believe you when you tell me I am beautiful, or when you say I'm worth it. Because when I look in the mirror, I'd see nothing but a smile full of lies and sad eyes full of nothing but fear. For some reason, I can't stop crying, even when I'm all out of tears. I'm so sorry, my dear. I can't do this anymore. I can't be so selfish. I feel my little false friend calling for me, offering an unnatural comfort, but I made a promise to stop cutting for you.
And I haven't. I won't dare to, but I want to. I want to feel the cold blade bite into my hot skin. I want to feel anything but empty. I want my little false friend to hug me and slide across my wrist. But I made a promise, not only to you, but to the others that say they love me, and to the others that saved me, over and over again, from my little false friend. So because you saved me, I want to save others, even though I can't stand to look at my own shadow. But as long as somebody needs me, I'll stay, because I love you, and you are beautiful. So please, stay just a little while, long enough for me to tell you the reasons why you are worth saving, and why the blade is a false friend. Because as the blade slid across my own skin, and I cut myself into ribbons, I shred the hearts of those who are worn thin, from all the times I told them I'd stop. Please, stop. I know it's hard to live in your own skin. That's the reason so many of us cut it open. I know how it feels to be scarred on the inside while you are scarring yourself on the outside. Darling, I know the struggle of smiling while behind closed doors you are dying, because I used to ask myself, why is it possible to be alive when inside I feel nothing but dead? And you think you are nothing, but in reality, you are everything. You are his everything. You are her everything. You are their everything. You are my everything. So, darling, I will stay until the end, until you realize the blade is a false friend.
Cheer for Ralston. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Give it up, give it up. If you see these little things on your chairs or the chairs by you, give until it hurts. Reach deep. We want that crinkles, not that jingles, right? Okay. I've done all my public service announcing. All right. Judges, you've had enough time because I usually talk a lot. So in 3, 2, 1, up we go. From low to high, we have an 8.6. We have an 8.8. We have a 9.0, 9.3, and a 9.5. Look here, y'all. Did I say 8.8? I did say 8.8, didn't I? Okay, I did. All right. Next, coming up, what? Water? No, that's the next. That's the next one. Thank you. She's good to me. Okay, everybody, let's put your hands together, and I want to hear the thunder roll like it ain't no joke for Waverly. Keep it going now. Keep it going now. Keep it going now.
Hi, I'm Amanda Marco. I'm a junior at Waverly High School, and this is my poem, Anatomy of a Pen and Paper. I don't know how to write poetry. Nobody ever taught me metaphors or inverted syntax or how to move someone through words. Nobody ever handed me a pencil and said, make your own paper. I never built a resume of finished, edited works. I kept rambling about the same themes, speaking my life through adjectives and similes, trying to communicate the human condition through hand gestures and vocal inflection. But when nobody teaches you poetry, you learn your own techniques and definitions. You learn that poetry is not a genre, it is a bodily function. The air exchanged between lungs and ears, the steady beat of a heart setting the meter from rhythm and mismatched rhymes you can buy at thrift stores. It is deep in my bones, behind marrow and blood cells. A raw man is trapped in a ballpoint pen released by my hand on paper. It's a relentless tug at my heart when I hear my favorite song. It starts with the world behind my eyes taking form in sounds and literary shapes, covering my arms like skin cells flicking off just as often as they form underneath the surface. Sensory neurons remind me that when I give away my experience too quickly, it draws blood. Every ounce of me works to be whole again, leaving a slitter of glued skin, glued ideas, amassed memories and emotions of standing up for my sister and soaking in her sadness to dull the agony of being different. The agony of ruthless teenage girls poking fun at her physicality. The agony of being fearlessly artistic in a school that doesn't understand what true beauty is. They don't understand what it's like to be a person whose circulatory system stretches like tubular symphonies throughout their body. My mind scribbles across every canvas left blank, spreading words like hot breath in the middle of winter. Self-expression is an involuntary action, much like flinching at lipstick sneers and fists. I've learned up the format trying to confine me into thin body, narrower mind, a vicious mold of thigh gap and flat stomach, pressing up against me like I'm too much for it to handle. So I think in free verse, rereading parts of me left forgotten, the parts where I tried changing, tried formatting myself to look like a cover girl. I reread the parts where I realized I don't have to change me to fit me. I'm the writer deciding how to live my life, the sculptor shaping my muffin top and thunder thighs, the singer whispering my personal lullaby. We forget we write our own stories. I want to share my story with my 13-year-old sister, to have my life intertwined with hers. I want my words to guide her to free verse where she has room to grow and not be strangled by toothpick girls and hollister-clad boys who think they know everything. I want her to know the word kabod, a Hebrew term for glory meaning heavy in weight. I want her to write, to make paper, to ask me for a pencil. I want her to ignore insults because we aren't elementary slurs perfected by the average teenager. We're the poets, and we won't forget it.
Thank you, judges. 3, 2, 1. One-ish. Come on, Todd.
Come on.
From low to high. Sorry, what can I see? Okay. An 8.9, an 8.9, a 9.1, a 9.1, and a 9.3. So here's something funny. Someone lost their iPhone and its ringer wasn't turned off, and it made a goofy noise during that poem. And it was Helen calling. And the next time Helen calls, I'm going to answer it and tell her that whoever owns this iPhone is a mean, bad audience member. It has a Hogwarts iPhone case on it. And then there's is this anybody's? There's this puppy on it. Is this anybody here? I hope you feel really ashamed of yourself and that's why you're not coming forward.
Okay, it's mine.
Are you lying?
Yes.
See, whoever it is makes babies cry. And we should just listen to another poetry thing. But I'm still really mad about this. I don't think that's how that works with things people leave around. There's another school. Who is it? All right, get it going. It's St. Luke's, everybody.
Hello, my name is Cassandra. I'm a sophomore, and I'm representing St. Luke Teen Center. My poem is called Make Up Confidence. Once on this earth, can't get off, stuck in an endless cycle of wanting things you can't have and getting what you don't want. There are conceited people like you wouldn't believe, putting others down when they still have pieces missing in their puzzle. We are all supposed to be free in the land of the brave, yet our deceptive government can't even help its own people. Shutting itself down because of its inability to cooperate. Oh yes, there are rules to living in this fabulous country, and being yourself isn't one of them. What kind of weave you put in your hair? How big can you make your already sized D boobs? Let's take makeup on our face. Let's risk side effects by putting collagen in our lips. No longer is natural a good thing. It is as rare as seeing a bird in the wintertime. The only way you can be different is if you prosper. Otherwise, you are an underling, a person at the bottom of the food chain, an eat or be eaten world, or just be a witness. As teenagers, doing what we want and rebelling against our parents, who have been there, done that, because really life is just an endless cycle of repeats. An endless cycle of repeats there for us to learn from them. By being the Barbie many girls want to be, we don't realize that we aren't really satisfying ourselves. over the endless cycle of how do I look? Are we really just satisfied with what we think looks good? Or do we already know we do? We're constantly looking in the mirror thinking, I don't like that, or that, or that. What is that? We don't look inside and see what we can make different there to change our viewpoints towards life. Yet, when we have set up that still wall of confidence, it can be broken down easily with the right concoction of hateful words. And then you're back to the, how can I be beautiful? How can I fit in? Playlist. This is what you ask people, and they won't know. Only you and you can know the combination to your own confidence.
Let's hear it for St. Luke's, y'all. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. We're supposed to be louder than a bomb. Yes. All right, judges, I give very little time now, from low to high. And 3, 2, 1. We have an 8.4, 8.4, 8.6, 8.6, and a 9.1. Let's hear it. Is everybody still having a good time? I don't believe you. Is everybody still having a good time? Hey. Excellent. Now, coming to the stage, let's hear it for the last of the second round, should I say, will be from Omaha Central!
My name's Nathan Check. I'm from Omaha Central. And the title of my piece is called She Was Beautiful Like Cancer. When I first met her, my tongue acted as a lighter as I flicked the tip in her direction while she held that cigarette between her lips, kissing it in a way that it made me think to myself, oh my God, I have never been more jealous of a cigarette before in my life. Because actions speak louder than words, I was encouraged to be the most deafening noise that she's heard, for she had a heart of gold that refused to be sold for anything less than perfection. Because according to my therapist, I am a perfectionist that will never live up to her expectations, simply because I keep asking myself the same questions over and over again. Can a mortician recreate her smile? Can the warmth that she radiated be brought back to life with the blackened matchstick that she used to light her very last cigarette? Lord knows she wanted to quit, but not like this. And I made the grave mistake of turning her into my home, and right now I am feeling pretty damn homesick because death has been ringing her doorbell ever since she was 14. Depression spread throughout her floorboards while pestilence knocked on the back door. Her eyes were nailed shut as her fireplace coughed up the smoke and fumes that dirtied the glass. Picture frame memories begged for her not to let go of the past. Her paint was chipping while TV channels were skipping through the homemade videos of her and me. Some of them dating all the way back to the day we met over 4 years ago. And while she was laying in her deathbed, I would do my best to remind her of every beautiful moment we've shared together. Over 1,460 days of late-night calls ending with 3 a.m. laughter. Over 35,064 hours of no regrets. Over 2,103,796 minutes that she has been living inside of my head, and I am living proof that homeless doesn't always mean hopeless. You see, all I wanted was for the light in her eyes to reflect the same amount of joy in mine when we said I do. For the first and last time. And before she could leave this world behind, she said, you know I prefer to be remembered and not forgotten. So don't be the dirt that covers my coffin. Instead, be the flowers that make love to my gravestone. For as long as a part of you, as long as a part of me lives within your memory, I will always have a place to call my own. And to this day, I still see her burning and every flame released from the lighters of those who should know better. I can still feel her clawing at my lungs. Every cough I hear sounds like her last breath. The smell of cigarettes is more appealing to me than the smell of flowers, especially the ones I bring her once a year. And I've kissed smokers while trying to move on just so that I could taste her one last time, but I guess that isn't really moving on. But I'm not here to warn you about who you fall in love with. I'm here to tell you to embrace it. Just let it happen, because I can guarantee you that if it ends, it will be worth the heartache. Because I will never forget the day that she replaced the end of her cigarette with my lips. And I will never regret the moment I kissed her back.
Judges. 3, 2, 1. Okay. From low to high, we have an 8.9, a 9.0, a 9.1, thank you, a 9.2, and a 9.4. Give it up for the poet!
Yeah.
And it is time for the third round. You made it! Give it up for Waverly.
Come on, keep it going, keep it going. Keep it going, keep it going. Let her know that you got her. Hey!
Close enough? Does it seem close enough? Hi, I'm Natalie Harrison. I'm a junior at Waverly High School, and this is my poem, Forgiveness. Forgiveness, something cried off rooftops and preached behind stained glass, embroidered on pillows and listed under virtues, a magic cure people give you like candy, expecting it to melt away your anger like butterscotch. They assume you will thank them because they just forgave away all your problems, right? Because hatred is too strong a word for your tongue, a string of syllables that you are just too sweet to be allowed to utter. You don't actually hate him, you're just upset. Just forgive him already. Hatred is a double-edged sword, and you'll regret your stubbornness later. And maybe that's true, but like getting over phobias and writing poetry, forgiveness is something easier said than done. When I think about forgiving him, my anger fuels my hatred. My hatred fuels my stubbornness, and my stubbornness knows that I am not wrong. I'm not the one who did something wrong. He is like a cancer that takes over my body, turning the air in my lungs to turning the butterflies in my stomach to dragons that burn me from the inside out. The air in my lungs becomes poison that chokes me when I try to breathe. He hid in the foundations of our home, and when I found out what he did, it was almost funny how quickly the walls around me crumbled. My life has become a natural disaster, and it flashes by like a damage report. Sanity, missing and considered dead, spirit demolished, and trust damaged beyond all repair. Like I could trust after him. Every person has become a snake, a gruesome monster that hides in front of my eyes, convincing me they're an ally. He is a nightmare that haunts me wherever I go. A beast that cannot be quelled, a dragon that forced my mother to piece our house back together from the shards of glass that were left. And when I tried to help her, my hands went red, and nothing I could do could convince her that she could be a good parent again. To forgive that, to open my heart and purify my soul? No, thank you. If forgiveness is a virtue, then I will gladly continue on as an immoral being, because even if my hatred runs through my veins like belladonna, and society considers me jaded, he will not be forgiven. No matter how many instant forgiveness lollipops you throw at me, it won't make me better. My emotions cannot be swirled like water down a drain. There are some things that just can't be forgiven.
All right, keep it going, y'all. Keep it going. Hey! Yes, sir. Everybody putting it on the line. Judges, are you ready? And even if you're not, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and from low to high, we have 8.8, 8.8, 8.8, 8.9, and a 9.0. All right, y'all. We're getting there. Okay, this is round 3, so we got to get ready for the real deal. We got to keep pumping it up. Let's hear it, y'all. Okay, now, this side, from this side on, ignite the mic. This side, louder than a bomb. Ready? Ignite the mic.
Ignite the mic! Louder than a bomb! Ignite the mic!
Say it! I said it! I said it! I said it! Here we go, watch it. Oh, I just love caller response. It's a wonderful thing. Let's hear it, y'all! Okay, come to the stage. They are familiar to you. You've heard them at least 2 or 3 times. Yes? All right, I just have to make sure. This is my first time, guys. So, I'm learning as I go, okay? But, St. Luke's, let's hear it. Come on.
Hi, my name is Yana Dunn, and I'm a junior, and this poem is called Squeezed. Ever feel like a tube of toothpaste? A little bit more of you being squeezed out every single day? You came in with a shiny new box and a price tag filled with promises like fresh breath and white teeth, only to get used up, thrown away, replaced. And you don't use it to its full potential. You just throw it away with all the other collected clutter of things you don't care for anymore. You don't appreciate its value. Never do I hear a thank you, toothpaste, for making the onion and garlic smells go away. Nor do you give it credit for making your smile shine bright like a diamond, or for its flavor not making you want to vomit in the sink. You take it for granted when you have it, and then when you leave town without it, you're standing around asking to use everyone else's toothpaste. Well, I am not your toothpaste. Though you thought you could buy me with free movies, fancy dinners, your athletic status, dark brown eyes, and white teeth. But now I'm paying the price for letting you squeeze a little more out of me every single day. My hopes, my dreams, my aspirations, my self-confidence, my independence, all being squeezed out under your grasp just to be wasted, spat out, sucked down the drain of a sink. And I heard you in the bathroom practicing your "it's over" speech. Not like I didn't already know when I saw you talking to that shiny new box, saying same brand, new look with extra whitening crystals. But unlike your toothpaste, I will not be thrown away because I know how to walk away, even with the little parts of me that I have left. So now I'm standing here half restored, filling up with new hopes and new dreams and even higher self-esteem. And I'm wearing a new price tag that says not for sale. Because I'll be, ooh, sweet mama Jesus, if I let another boy use me like another household item. Trust and believe the next time I'm on the market, I won't be bought with McDonald's French fries, free popcorn, teddy bears, and Valentine grams, but love. Because unlike Colgate Total, unlike Crest 3D White, unlike Listerine, anything that makes your breath smell clean, love, that has no limit.
St. Luke's, everybody! Judges! 3, 2, 1! We've got a 9, a 9, a 9.3, a 9.6, and a 9.8. Keep it going for Central!
My name is Emily Beck, and I'm a senior at Omaha Central. And this is called Staying Young. Growing up ain't as fun as we think. No one can prepare us for the zits, quips, stink of uncertainty, the fog that overtakes, blinds, defines us, picks us up and clouds our judgment, carries us through phases, stages of tight black jeans, neon highlights, knife fights, Dim parking lot lights shine onto empty scenes with high stakes. Channeling James Dean, we defend territory that exists only in our minds, drunk with rebellion. We advance with swift stabs to the heart, aiming to win glory in the form of a few shallow, bloody slashes. We don thick eyeliner masks, make shy remarks tongue-tied, second-guessing every breath, meanwhile compromising future breaths with cigarettes we don't even like the taste of. But to hold them between our fingers somehow makes us feel more powerful. This fog of adolescence throws us down in bitter, dusty defeat where we eventually contemplate what we've been doing as of late, and we ask ourselves, what was I thinking when I went out in public like that? But we move on, spectrums shift, matters that actually matter take over. We're growing sure despite the adults who make us ask to use the bathroom, the shop owners who reek of distrust, who ask to keep our bags at the front counter, the parents who push us down the path they wish they would have chosen, that ACT score that sits shaky on the line between a full ride and decades of debt. It all builds up, and we want to scream, why did I ever want to grow up? Sure, we begin to find ourselves, but all the while we're looking to this bounty we'll receive if we keep grades up, pants on, heads down. Even though we're older, we endure doubt, days misery-tinged, daily cataclysms. We're realizing who we're supposed to be, but growing up ain't as fun as we used to think. New bones splinter through old skin, molting. It's revolting who some of us have become. And no one told us the decay we'd feel, the dismay we'd reel from. No one mentioned the has-beens, the used-to-be's, the no-mores, the never-again-will-be's. No one told us of the friendships that never again will breathe, the first times we'll never again see. They all passed by before we got a chance to notice them, one by one taking leave. No one told us when we turn 18, we get a can of pepper spray and a trip to the gynecologist. No one told me we have to decide who we're gonna be, who we're gonna sleep with, who we'll reject and subject to small pieces of our souls loosening, releasing wisp-like in evening lights. But I still frequent playgrounds, sunsets, swing sets, soaring skyward, still somewhat childlike. My vision is sharpened by adulthood, but that doesn't mean it can't be softened by shards of childhood, because for now, I can still catch them on my teenage tongue.
Oh, I thought it was a party here. Yeah. All right, let's keep it going. Judges, in 3, 2, 1. From low to high, we have 8.9, 8.9, 8.9, 9.0, and a 9.2. Keeping this party going. I want to make sure y'all still having a good time, right? If I point to that side, what are you supposed to say? What? Oh yeah, that's okay. I was a little bit slow, but that's all right. Coming to the stage. Let's hear it for the last one of the third round, okay? It's from Ralston. Am I right? Am I right? Ralston, let's hear it! Hey, 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 hey!
Hi, I'm Emily Manhart, and I'm a sophomore. You walked out on us. How dare I? No. How dare you? Leaving a 9-year-old to know that life had been too tough. She didn't care that much. Longing to run to your side anytime she could. Leaving again and again, being loyal forever. But in the back of her mind, she always knew that the pills and the shots were never enough for you. Somehow you must have forgotten. Not only did you leave her, you left me, a 3-year-old who barely knew, who could never to remember your face, your voice, the care that you had once shown, despising you for your every decision you ever made, for you did not care, and your actions showed that. For the pills and the shots were worth everything to you. For the one who should have had the loudest voice in all of this was your 1-year-old daughter, who waited for the love and the kindness of a mother to appear. But she found no mother when you showed around. All hope she had for you vanished when you couldn't even remember her name. You were selfish and deeply in love, not with yourself, not with your family, but with those pills and shots that became your baby, your family, the ones that were more than your life. I hated you for all the chaos you left us to sort through, for all the times you had forgotten us. Thinking about it now, all I could come to is this. I couldn't whine. Your choice was set in stone, but I still have a chance to be 10 times better, never to follow in your footsteps, to be different. Knowing that you are nothing but a poison in our lives, but you will never know that. For that poison gave me strength, and I thank you for that, for I am strong.
Thank you, Ralston! Judges! You are so good at giving numbers to our hearts. 3, 2, 1. From low to high, we have an 8.7, 8.7, and an 8.7. This like diagonal line of judges is like on some kind of energy line, I feel like. 8.9 and a 9. Keep it going for the first poet of the 4th round from St. Luke.
Hi, I'm Destiny Matthews, junior, and it's my first year in competition. Words smack me in the face, letter by letter, forcing me to remember statements stated by those of hatred, love, and care. Pause. Rewind. Okay, push play. See, I was taught to kill with kindness, but the words they shoot me with leave me standing with open lacerations, bleeding tears of weakness, failing to stay strong. The words deepen in my wounds. I fall to the ground as my audio is on mute and my peers seem to be deaf of my silent cry. I whisper for help in the ears of myself. Confusion. Confusion takes me far, to a place unknown beyond the stars where I'm alone and I can't make myself feel at home with no one to talk to tell how I feel. I'm beginning to believe the life I'm living isn't real. It's all imaginary. Reliving my past and not living in the present, it's bothering me, and every day feels like a breeze, and as that breeze goes by, it whispers something, but I can never hear it. Day after day, as the breeze goes by, it hits me in my bones and forces me to remain weak and to remember the statements that the hatred, love, and care once shared. But as I lay there on that cold, hard ground, I realize that my positivity saves me, and I come back to reality 10 times stronger than 1,000 pounds.
If nobody else gonna have fun, I'm gonna have fun. Come on, y'all. Judges. 3, 2, 1. Get it. From low to high, we have an 8.6, 8.7, 8.8, 8.8, and a 9.0. All right, y'all, all right. Home stretch, home stretch. We almost there, but y'all gotta keep it live, all right? Come on. Keep it live, all right? Yeah, we're gonna turn this roof off because we're supposed to be a little louder. Yeah. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so coming up to the stage next, we got some Eagles in the house. We got some Eagles in the house. Okay, Central!
Hi, I'm Olivia Larson. I'm a freshman at Omaha Central High School. I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. Life is a maze and love is a riddle. I don't know where to go, can't do it alone. I've tried and I don't know why. One lyric that describes you. In a stark white conference room of a library one early winter morning, the first line I thought of was my sister's ringtone. The one she couldn't stop singing this past semester in college. Maybe when someone's 4,110 miles away, you start to realize how much you love her. How I'm not instantly repelled when someone says I'm like her like I used to the past 15 years. I'm starting to remember little things like this. Bet she'd get mad that I'm writing a poem about her breakup and her boyfriend, but did I tell you, she is beautiful. Blue eyes and ginger corkscrews that could never be recreated with a box dye and a perm. I speak from experience. It discredits her far too much to think hair color, a similar playlist, and her hand-me-downs could capture the fire and spirit of her words. But how long has that spark been burning? While I was watercolor painting, she was stressing about being sent to the homework table. And while I was putting off long division, she was putting on homecoming dresses. And I never would have described her as strong. But as the person who's been looking up to her the longest, I can't come up with the moment that changed. And I can't imagine how hard it must have been for her to realize that corsage was too tight, and I couldn't stop him from picking up the console one too many times for her to feel like his girlfriend, and I wasn't allowed to stay up late enough to figure out why she was crying. But Shelby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't know who the Half-Blood Prince was for an extra weekend, because the day I decided to read under the table during math was a Friday. And I'm sorry your sunglasses are sitting in an undeveloped lot in West Omaha. I thought you were kidding when you told me to you dared me to throw them out the window. And I'm sorry I pulled you up the slide by your hair when you asked for help. That wasn't the help you were looking for. I promise it'll never happen again. Because despite the fact I'll always be taller, you outgrew the playground first. And you're 20, learning how to say, I don't like shrimp very much in Norwegian, and I'm learning how to say, I don't miss you in a convincing enough tone. Sister, you can bet I'll curse your name in the 7-hour time difference when my alarm sounds, but there's no way I'll go a day without a Snapchat of how you're doing. And every time you're screaming at a 21 Pilots concert, you know I'll be listening to their set list through my headphones. Because even though I feel every one of those 4,110 miles, some days I could swear I still hear you singing. I'm just a little bit caught in the middle. Life is a maze and love is a riddle. I can't figure it out. It's bringing me down, I know. I've got to let it go and just enjoy the show.
All right. Thank you, Central judges. 3, 2, 1. We've got from low to high a 9, a 9, a 9.1, a 9.2, and a 9.2. Keep it going for Ralston.
Hi guys, my name's Quinn Cosgrove, and I'm a senior at Ralston. They tell my story wrong every single time, just so it can fit their ideals. Those idiotic scholars make me out of the essence of innocence. They make people pity me. Oh, poor Persephone, how heartbroken her mother must be. Wrong, wrong, wrong. My mother was at least sane when I was little, but after the devastation of my father's death, she changed to this angry, aggravated woman. I quickly became a burden. She sent me afield, far from all eyes, blaming me for the mortal stupidity. Like I could change that. She finally left me broken. That moment, I was done. My wobbly legs stood on their own accord, and I made my way anywhere but that one spot. That's how I found him, with his head and his hands. I didn't know who he was. Would I do exactly what my mother wanted and walk right back to that field, or do exactly what my heart wanted and run straight to him? The man turned around, seeming to hear my inner turmoil. The thing that told me who he was his empty, black eyes. I knew his name, for my mother blamed me for all he did. Hades. The man that took away all my mother's faithful servants. All would run in fear from the Lord of the underworld, but that soulless body called to me. I ran to him. He took me with him far below the earth, far beyond my mother's strangling grasp. Free. That's what I felt. Freed. I'd found my purpose. I knew I could never go back, for this Lord was becoming a man with a soul, and I, his queen. Everything was perfect except for my mother's insanity. She took her anger out on the land instead of me, allowing the sun to burn, plants to wither, and water to dissipate. We were all called by Zeus to decide everyone's fate. My mother tried to get Zeus to hand me over, while Hades argued about keeping me. I stayed silent, knowing my opinion didn't count. Many emotions played on my face. Worry, fear, sadness, anger. But I remembered the love I had. It gave me the confidence to stand up. With my voice clear and strong, I boomed, "Stop! I do not want to be a tool, a punching bag to take your anger out on. I am not going to deal with your aggressiveness, Mother. I am free of you." They stopped their arguments to stare at me. Zeus spoke. She chose what she wants. She knows the consequences that come with. You have no say anymore. My mother's mouth snapped closed, and she stormed out. Hades watched me closely. A smile crept on my face, but nothing lasts long in front of Zeus. Well, it looks as if you two are set. Get your butts back to hell. If only we had all known the lies my mother would sprout.
All right, y'all. That was Ralston. Come on, keep it up. Let's hear it. Okay, last party of the fourth round before we go to our group pieces I do have to get the judges' scores, huh? Okay, 3, 2, 1. Judges. From low to high, we have 8.4, 8.8, 8.8, 9.0, and a 9.1. Come on, let's hear it, y'all. Let's hear it for this last party of the fourth round before we go on. That is from, help me out, Matt. Thank you. Everybody do this. Hey, Waverly. Waverly! Come on, bring her on in.
Hi, my name is Riley Westerholt. I'm a junior at Waverly High School, and this is my angst poem. When you first heard the words angst poem, I really hope you did not have great expectations. And if you did, let me crush them now. It's hard thinking of a depressing story to tell about your life when you're a middle-class white girl who lives in Nebraska. The most prejudice I've ever had directed at me was the question, so do you ride your horse to school? Instead, I think I should write a poem about something simultaneously hilarious and horribly depressing, otherwise known as my love life. I like to think I don't get asked out because the people at my school are so intimidated by my massive intellect, my grandiose vocabulary, but then I remember that I'm failing pre-calculus, so I know that's not true. I would like to believe that I've never had a date to a dance because my hips don't lie. But then I remember that they're also bony, angular, and generally look like they could stab you to death. So I dance in dark corners. I need to think that boys don't stop and talk to me in the hallway because they're so enraptured by the way I strut. But then I trip over my feet again. So I store that hypothesis away for later. I should think that true beauty lies on the inside, but then I remember that I go to a public high school and I am just as shallow as everyone else, so I will continue judging you silently. I could think that the reason I slouch so much is because I'm trying to inadvertently communicate that I'm a vulnerable and shy girl. But then I remember how heavy my backpack is, so I try to stand a little straighter in public. I may think that the reason I don't have more friends is the absurd amount of time I spend on the internet, but yeah, actually that one is probably true. I occasionally think I may be good at sports, but then I remember dance, softball, basketball, volleyball, gymnastics, and how I get winded just running up the 13 stairs in my house. So I think it's probably a good thing I like poetry so much. I really don't want to come off as seeming pretentious, but then I remember that my normal facial expression looks something like this. So I'm afraid I've already scared everyone away. I want to believe that all of you poets are secretly yearning for my number, but then I remember that this poem sounds like it's full of self-doubt. And let's be honest, that's no way to make a first impression. Even though I'm failing pre-calculus, I just scored 100 out of 88 points on an English quiz. My massive intellect is intimidating. I've never had a date to a dance because I have the moves like Jagger and no one can get over it. Since I'm so clumsy, I'm kind of hoping you will fall for me as hard as I fell for you. Whenever I'm feeling invisible, I like to think of how hot I will be at my high school reunion. How news of my success will have reached everyone and they will regret not thinking about me more. Suddenly I feel a lot better. I slouch a lot, and that only makes me that much more terrifying when you've angered me to the point that I straighten up. Even though I suck at sports, if you see me glaring at you and writing furiously in a notebook, you should probably run, because writers, we're tired of being told that we're not good enough. We're tired of wondering if we're actually not good enough, because we are more than good enough. Every single one of us.
Thank you, Waverly! I see what you are doing there. I like Joanna. Judges, 3, 2, 1. From low to high, we have a 9.1, a 9.1, a 9.4, a 9.6, and a 9.8. Give it up for all the poets! All right. Now, coaches, you have won a 3-minute date with Matt Mason in between rounds. Yeah, so go. That's the prize, is that you. So mosey on over there. The rest of you, maybe think about directing your pocket devices to the QR code on your seat and giving us lots of money. Now would also be a good time to take a selfie and hashtag that LTAPGP selfie. We're going to do it all together really quick, okay? I already took it. I already did it. You could also buy a t-shirt so you could look this cool.
How much?
$15 for grown folk. $10 for students. Maybe you could talk to some wealthy benefactors out there to buy you one.
I'll be on the whole group. Yeah. Talk to your people.
Man, this is such a good selfie.
Hey! I'm the ugly one in the selfie. Okay? Beautiful. Oh, I love you too.
You just played.
That's
You
not
were
too
done.
much.
It's Beyonce o'clock!
Nothing but a L-Tech party. Nothing but a L-Tech party. Let's see you say nothing but a L-Tech party. Say nothing but a L-Tech party. Can't hear you, nothing but a L-Tech party. Say nothing but a L-Tech party.
L-Tech party! This bout's not over. I'm really into it. It's that Jay-Z verse, y'all!
Yeah, see, they having a party over there. But we get ready to get it started again. Come on, come on. Yes. Yeah, Andrew, I'm a man that is not afraid to ask for directions or help. Got it? Is it? Excellent. All right, I'm gonna show y'all something real quick, and then we're gonna get on to this last round. So everybody get situated. Everybody situated, so we don't have no technical difficulties.
What? Okay, so this wireless mic is a little bit hotter than the other one. So this is what it sounds like up close. This is what it sounds like from here-ish. I'm posting this selfie right now.
Yes. Hashtag.
Oh yeah. LTAP GP selfie is how this mic sounds right here.
All right, so no, and this one sounds.
And this one sounds like this.
Okay. All right.
It said it failed.
Uh-oh. Well, she'll have to do it again. That's okay. All right. We want to keep this party going, and we got to move it along, all right? So I'm going to teach you something real quick. It's real fun, and I want you to make sure that you use it at every step, okay? Give yourselves a big hand like this. Give yourselves a round of applause. The seal of approval. I can't hear the seal. Standing O. High fives. And the famous, fabulous, fantastic, funky, fantastic fireworks. They go like this. Oh, I gotta go. Okay, it goes. Oh, yeah. All right. Give yourselves a big hand. A round of applause. The seal of approval. Standing O. High fives. And famous, fabulous, fantastic, funky fireworks. Oh, yeah. That's going to be our LTAB thing. All right. All right. So I'm going to let you announce the groups in order.
All right, so the group piece round will go St. Luke's, Central, Ralston, and Waverly. Are you ready for group pieces?
one's not the, yeah. Can you help?
There you go.
Hi, I'm Tiara.
Leona.
Jasmine.
Destiny.
And we're from St. Luke's.
And our poem is called Reflections. My eyes take in my appearance like a breath of fresh air.
But when the breath is released, it smells like gingivitis.
Disgusting.
Horrid.
Nasty.
Trash.
I beg the mirror to stop murdering my psyche with its words laced in judgment and critique. But the more I beg, the louder it cries.
Ugly.
And sometimes when I cry myself to sleep at night, I pray that the tears will wash away all of the imperfections.
My enlarged head.
My nose overpopulated with blackheads.
My bulging eyes.
A gap in between my teeth.
My reflection stares at me and it screams.
You disgusting abomination! You repulse me!
And I wish I could blame it all on Maybelline and media's lies about true perfection. But I know that the only enemy that I have to face is my own. I'm tired of trying to convince myself that I'm
beautiful,
sexy,
amazing. My skin looks and feels like a roll of brown smooth satin that gets covered daily with swag.
And the mirror loves me.
And I have plenty of them.
Both full body
and compact.
And my cell phone is jam-packed with selfies.
But it's not like
I need them. Because I am
H-O-T.
Blazing.
I can't walk
down the hallway without hearing a...
Dang, you look good, girl.
Can I get your number?
And my occasional favorite.
Damn!
Because you see, I got that natural, long hair, don't care.
Wake up with no makeup on.
God blessed and passed the hourglass body test.
That's why every morning when I wake up, I look in the mirror and say that I'm beautiful.
Powerful.
Brilliant.
Gorgeous.
Talented.
Fabulous.
Enlightened.
Only to be called a liar by my own reflection.
Keep it going, come on, hey! Ain't nothing but an L-Tap party. Come on, ain't nothing but an L-Tap party. Hey, ain't nothing but an L-Tap party. You see, that's how you get it going. What the heck? Who would have thunk it? All right, remember, judges, 3, 2, 1. Ding, 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 ding. From low to high, we have an 8.7, a 9.0, a 9.2, a 9.2, and a 9. I guess that's it, isn't it? Yeah, did I say them all? I missed one, didn't I? I said, wait, is there 2 9s? I'm sorry, charged to my head, not my heart. Do it again, hold them up. Let's try it again. 8.7, come on. 9.0, 9.0, 9.2, and 9.2. Okay, you gotta keep it going. So, Central in the house. Central! Let's hear it.
I'm Kelsey.
I'm Jenny.
Olivia. I'm Emily, and we're from Omaha Central.
There is a war being lost on darkened streets, pavement blackened by muffled back alley bar scenes. Only sisters, mothers, and daughters are drafted. Service is mandatory.
She is met with
Disappointment, staring back from reflections, layering foundations like it's the structure for her temple. She grabs lipstick case coffins and mascara spades because tonight she digs her own grave.
Every year, 183,000 women go missing in America,
Stripped of dog tags and dignity.
Fathers.
Husbands.
And brothers are called in for
Body identification.
She grew tired of fairy tales, grew tired of expectations,
Grew tired.
of forbidden perfection,
Grew tired.
Tired of holding herself together, so she gets a tight black dress to do it for her, and for the first time,
She can breathe. It's the beginning of the night.
And she sets out eyeshadow palettes like battle plans, hoists brushes like bayonets, applies blush like war paint, walks out in sequins armor, knowing she may not come back a warrior, knowing she may not come back.
Cosmo magazines give her careful instructions for joining her sisters on the front lines. She meticulously brushes white teeth like tombstones not yet engraved.
When they find her body, her mother decides her tombstone will say, "You are perfection."
She stares at the coded message sent from across the bar, clutches the napkins like draft papers, takes step after step behind enemy lines. Holding liquor like her own personal napalm, she drinks and feels fire.
His smile is his camouflage, his voice an ambush, and she willingly walks into the trap of his steel jaws. He thinks of her as a weapon of mass seduction. Society has set the battlefield. She has loaded the ammunition. He will pull the trigger.
She knows of the bloodshed before her.
She's heard televised horror stories.
No step-by-step training could have prepared her for this.
She seeks to defend higher ground, straps on stilettos, but stumbles.
No street light or neon bar sign can save you from the darkness of his eyes or the inside of his trunk.
Pick up dark nail polish to match your bruises.
You are perfection.
Let magazine models show you what beauty means.
You are perfection.
Pretty smiles, missing teeth.
You are perfection.
Broken, bloody fingernails match final thoughts.
You are perfection. It is the end of the night. Each woman staggers home.
Stick close to busy streets.
To safety.
Check over your shoulder automatically.
To comfort.
Like fear is just a part of you now.
To be herself.
Expectations stalking in darkness.
Wash off the remnants of battle. Blacken mascara and blood red lipstick run down the drain. Scrub off foundation. Let us see the real you underneath. Change your armor. Here you are not a warrior. You are human.
Here you are yourself, not what they made you, you are safe.
You are beautiful, just as you are, stripped of the concepts of pretty, you are natural, you are free.
You have set goals no one wants to reach, let them go.
Believe you don't have to enlist. You can end this. Let no one take away what you are. Beauty, laughter, sunlight. You are perfection.
Thank you, Central judges. 3, 2, 1, judge things. From low to high, we have an 8.9, a 9, a 9.1, a 9.2, and a 9.2 for Central. Keep it going for Ralston.
Hi, I'm Maribel Neverett. I'm a senior.
I'm Karen Cosgrove, and I'm a senior.
Evelyn Harrison, senior.
Emily Manhart, sophomore.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. Subject, why? Date, April 3rd, 2013. Time, 4:02 a.m.
I don't even know why I'm sending this. It's just been bothering me, and I need to get it off my chest and just say something. These past few months have felt like a beautiful love story, but lately it's become more relevant to me that the faster I fell for you, the harder the impact was when I finally hit the ground below because you had already left. It was actually a relief when you had left that day. Not because I was done with you. I was just done with all the fights. But really, a simple fight had driven you out of our house you'd once called home. If it was that easy, why didn't you do it earlier? But did you really have to go so far to changing your number on me? So I'm stuck with the operator? I'm not just something you can leave on the side of the road and never look back on. So many days I wasted away blaming myself until I finally realized this was all blown out of proportion. I hadn't done some horrible thing. Our love was still young, and it hadn't even reached full bloom when this all begun. Yes, we've had our ups and downs, but you're acting like a child. Why am I sending this?
Subject, please. Date, June 24th, 2013. Time, 2:50 a.m.
I know you won't get this. I just got a call from your sister.
I got your message, Anna. I'm sorry to inform you, but Lucas got into a fatal car accident the night he moved out of the house. A man was driving down the street drunk and hit him. He died soon after. I'm sorry, but he told me you two stopped talking months before he died.
I didn't do this. You did this to yourself. I said a lot of hateful things to you that night.
I hate you. Never come back, you worthless piece of scum. I hope you die!
I didn't do this. I don't know why it keeps playing back in my mind. It won't get out. It's clawing away at me. Why were those my final words to you? They can't be. Why am I doing this to myself? Why won't you just say something?
We've discussed this, Lucas. Is it either Anna or me? Are you coming or not? Natasha. Sent. March 28th, 11:30 p.m.
I'm giving up on you.
Thank you, Ralston! Judges! 3, 2, 1. Scores are from low to high an 8.6, an 8.7. I hear some like farm animals out there. Do you have feelings, audience? I said 8.8, 8.9, and a 9. Keep it going for Waverly!
I almost got an oil.
Hello? Okay. Hi, I'm Michaela Harrison.
I'm Riley Westerholt.
I'm Natalie Harrison.
I'm Amanda Marco. We're from Waverly High School, and this is our poem, Letters to Walt Disney. Dear Walt Disney,
You completely ruined our favorite characters.
You took animations and made them
Abominations. First off, let's talk about the princesses.
Mara's movie was called Brave.
I mean, ignoring the fact that she fought a bear and refused to choose a husband.
Why simultaneously keeping peace among the clans is just preposterous. Her fiery locks were brave all on their own.
That was 3 years of animation.
On her hair.
She is not a Barbie.
She has a stomach.
Did you even watch her movie?
She took an entire plate of pastries.
Have one.
Or 2, an entire plate.
She is a fearsome princess and she shoots a bow. Try to change her appearance again,
And she won't be the only one stringing an arrow.
Dear Walt,
what was so charming about Cinderella's prince?
He couldn't even remember what she looked like. They danced all night.
you really had to make every single girl in the kingdom try on the shoe?
He couldn't even rule out the brunettes.
Dear Walt.
Oh, bother. Don't even get me started on Winnie the Pooh.
Maybe slow down on the honey, Winnie.
Your stomach seems horrific.
Like, what logic were you using, Walt? Seriously, what are we teaching kids?
That rain is black.
Like your soul?
Or that piglets never grow up? Or that tigers are indigenous to the United States?
And why is Eeyore so depressed all the time?
He's a donkey, the symbol of perseverance.
Not a slow doormat with no home to lay in front of.
Why does Rabbit so insane about his garden?
What is he growing in there?
And why is he growing? And why is he growing lettuce, a traditionally spring plant, with carrots, a late season plant?
Was Christopher Robin high?
Is that what's in Rabbit's garden?
Dear Walt,
Get a clue.
why does a stuffed animal need a strangely endless supply of honey? Why do play toys need more food than the family that isn't low income enough to receive food stamps?
Can you explain that, Walt? Can you explain why everything is bittersweet?
Why we turn to your stories in search of comfort?
Can you explain why death always follows life?
Why we can connect with the lost of Simba's father
As if you were our own flesh and blood.
wrapped around our bones.
Like the childhood stories you provided us with.
Can you explain why these tall tales aren't enough?
Why Hakuna Matata is just a saying and not the way we are living. We want to have no worries.
But you yourself know that is impossible.
You gave us a dose of real life in every movie.
Eased us into this world that wants to tear our imagination to shreds.
Made us laugh when we thought we would cry. Walt Disney.
You gave us a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down.
And we gave you nothing but critique after critique.
You told us to wish upon a star.
And we saw streetlights instead. So we didn't believe you when you told us
that our dreams could come true.
And we're sorry. We didn't mean to twist your plot.
So they were the mere image of pollution.
We turned imperfect works of imagination into flawed cartoons.
You showed us we all make mistakes.
And we didn't want to believe you.
We had been falsified by our own miscommunications.
So we shoved it down the throats of people everywhere, expecting them to give up their dreams for the real world. And we are terribly sorry. Yours truly,
The Young at Heart.
Thank you, Waverly! Judges, your last judge of the judging in 3, 2, 1. We've got from low to high a 9.1, a 9.3, a 9.4, a 9.6, and the first 10 of all of us. It only took until bout number 3 for those in the archives.
That's all right.
Let's give it up for all the poets on stage.
Give them a big hand. Give them the round of applause. Give them the seal of approval. Standing O or sitting. High fives. And the famous, fabulous, fantastic, funky fireworks. Oh, yeah.
That is
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fun. Give it up for the judges. And let's bring all the poets back up here one more time.
Come on now. Come on down. Come on down.
There's so many poets everywhere. Yeah, get it. All right. Yeah, okay, wow, that looks like that was most of the audience is now on stage with me. So without further ado, start clapping and don't stop. 4th place, we have St. Luke. 3rd place, Ralston. 2nd place is Central. 1st place, Waverly. All right. Give it up, stick around. There's another bout right now. Poets, find somebody whose poem you liked and high five them if they want you to do that. And if you are sticking around and would like to judge more young people's lives, let me know.
Don't be afraid of any group or organization that is supporting the small. Thank you.
Gina's Bangs.
Make sure that you look at your t-shirts on the way out. Get a cookie if there's any left. And water's on power. And we love you all. Double tap dance party. Oh yeah. That's what you want to do. Come in, stop missing that. If they all got no home back, I should probably work me just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I know you feel like a woman out of the roof. Come along with me, you feel like happiness is true. Because you know what happiness is to you. Come along with me, you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't know you. Bring me down, the love is true. Bring me down, can't know you. Bring me down, I said. Bring me down, can't know you. Bring me down, the love is true. Bring me down, can't know you. Bring me down, I said. You feel like a woman on the roof. Come along with me, you feel like happiness is true. Come along with me, you know what happiness is to you. Come along with me, you feel like that's what you want to do. If you feel like a woman without a roof. Come along with me, you feel like happiness is true. Come along with me, you know what happiness is to you. Come along with me, you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't know you. Bring me down, the love is true. Bring me down, can't know you. Bring me down, I said. Come along with me, you feel like a woman without a roof. Come along with me, you feel like happiness is true. Come along with me, you know what happiness is to you. Come along with me, you feel like that's what you want to do. Come along with me, you feel like a home without a roof. Come along with me, you feel like happiness is true. Come along with me, you know what happiness is to you. Come along with me, you feel like that's what you want to do. Because ain't stop missing that. If they all got no home back, I should probably work out me just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because come along with me, you feel like a woman without a roof. Come along with me, you feel like happiness is the truth. Come along with me, you know what happiness is to you. Come along with me, you feel like that's what you want.
Hey folks, if anybody gets a ticket on their car, UNO told me there would be no tickets today and somebody got one. See how they are? Bring them to me. I'm going to turn in anything that we have to them, and we apologize for this. UNO promised me that this would not be the case. So, thank you.
Hey folks, we're shutting down this stream. This is Greg. I'm back from Coaching Central. I'll be your live stream commentator for the rest of the night. We are shutting down this stream to switch over to our late bout stream. So we'll see you right over there. Just hop back on the LTAP Omaha late homepage here at YouTube, and it'll take you to the main bout. We'll see you in a little bit.